But anyway, I'm going to go into Bobby Lee's problem with Austin comedy by American Redact. We'll see what he's got
We do
wrong with
miss
it.
you a lot. I think about you all the time.
Yeah,
I
same
really
here.
do. And I go, I wish Theo,
Ooh,
because we saw you more
Theo,
often.
I miss him
Yeah, we
too.
did.
Yeah.
Back in the good old days.
And you're one of the only guys that have moved away that I kind of miss.
Who else moved away that you don't miss? Go ahead.
No, I miss.
I think there's a lot of them that it's blatantly obvious. I think.
Do you have to ask him that?
All right, so at this point in March 2026, I think it's pretty clear now that the comedians from Los Angeles and New York don't really take the Austin comedy scene too seriously.
For
and
good
honestly,
reason.
I'd go as far as to say
Look at
now
this
that they
dude.
have
Oh man, I'm trying to think of an analogy here. Maybe like Bargain Bin Toby Maguire or something. Like I don't know. He's really tan. I don't know.
actually
Has he
look
always been
down
that
on
tan?
some of them.
What do I know?
Because as you just saw in the opening clip there, Bobby Lee pretty much alluded to the fact that he just doesn't miss any of the
Schwab.
comedians that recently moved away from LA
What's his name
besides
again?
Theo Vaughn, which indeed was a blatant jab at Joe Rogan, Tony Hinchcliffe, and all the LA
Tony
comics
Hinchcliffe.
who
That's him, right? I think that's Tony Hinchcliffe, right? I don't know. Uh I'm only loosely familiar with the. Oh yeah, Kill Tony. That's what it is. Okay, yeah, that's Tony Hinchcliffe. Yeah, he's really annoying from my understanding. I've never heard him say a single funny thing in my entire life. Everything that I've seen about him, he is an insufferable prick. But
We're now grifting at the comedy mothership in Austin, Texas. And the funniest part about Bobby saying this is that he's clearly been holding his tongue on this topic for a while. Like, he's still in good graces with the Rogansphere and his
I was
good
gonna say
pals
I'll
with
hold his tongue, but then that sounds weird, so I'm not gonna say that.
Joe Rogan, but he absolutely rolls his eyes
never
at
said that.
everything they do over there, especially Tony Hinchcliffe and a couple of the guys that he's brought up.
I'll come up
Like
with
Bobby
something
Lee
better.
genuinely doesn't like the way those guys approach comedy and has actually confronted them about it on air a few times in the past. Like, of course, the time Bobby Lee told Ari Maddie that he actually doesn't agree with them, openly using racial or homophobic slurs.
You know when like you're
I'm
hanging
gonna
out.
go on record right now and say that I also don't agree with that. I mean, actually, okay, I don't really care if you use them and like if it's funny, but okay, I shouldn't say it like that. Sorry. If it's not offensive, like if you're not doing it in a negative way, or if you are a member of the group or associated with the group, like then obviously that's fine too. But like if you're just doing it as a reactionary just to get laughs or whatever, um, I just think that that's like bullshit. Like you're not, and it's not funny. Like if you were funny, then you could use some of the words. Like they always say like the word retarded, right? They love that word. They want to say that word so bad. It's their favorite word. If they could, they would have sex with that word. But if you're going to use it, it has to be either accurate or funny. And if it's not, then it's just like why use it? Like you're just offensive is not funny. But anyway, let's keep going.
With another comedian, he says the N word around you for the first time.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a
That
little
word.
trust that I'm in
Okay,
the circle.
that
Here
word
we
you
go.
shouldn't use. I was thinking maybe the lesser slurs. You shouldn't use that word under like any circumstances.
Oh, let's talk about this real quick, okay?
Uh-huh.
I'm not. I'm not with that. What you guys are doing in Austin.
What do you mean?
Well, let's be real. I don't like some of the words you guys use freely.
Like what?
Yeah, it's like edgelord. It's like
It is
not all
edgelord
of
shit.
it.
I know, but
There
it's
is
becoming
certain-
so hacky to me.
Hey,
100%.
to be fair though, I went through this phase too. Now, granted. First of all, not the N word, but in terms of being a fucking edgelord, I went through this phase. Now, I was like, 13 or 14, but I did go through this phase. So I think these people might just be like late bloomers. That's what it is.
You guys use
Like they're just now going through puberty.
these words just for the shock factor. It's
100%.
like I'm just not. I'm not into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think the R word sometimes.
Hey,
But
that's what I said.
I would never say the N word
Sorry.
in any environment.
I'm gonna
Okay.
get
The
canceled,
F
dude.
word I don't really use.
I'm
I'm
ever,
gonna
you
get
know
so
what I mean?
canceled.
And I see Austin comic use it regularly.
It's in the contract. You
It's
have
in the
to.
contract. Yeah, yeah.
If you want to play in Austin, it's in the contract.
Yeah. So, I don't know. This is my little tidbit. I've talked about it with other people, and
So yeah, I mean, you know it's pretty bad when Bobby Lee has to be the one to tell you that
Bobby
this
Lee, what a
so-called
name.
material
That's a great
your
name.
Rat Pack does on stage is some of the most bottom-of-the-barrel racist slop that truly doesn't belong anywhere in comedy. Because Bobby Lee is genuinely bought into being a part
Man,
of the
he looks
Rogansphere.
kind of the same.
But he and Andrew Santino
Like, he was a little
credit
baby
all of
then.
their success in podcasting to this entire
I know.
group effort that they've all curated over the past 10 years or so.
Let's just hope that like by the time that I make it, which I'm sure that I will, I got that confidence, you know. I'm gonna make it. I swear. But let's just hope that by the time that I do, this video is so buried in like thousands of hours of VODs that nobody ever finds it. Although I'm sure that they will. If I'm a leftist, like they're going to find it. But whatever.
But it gets to a point where the stuff these guys are saying on stage is so embarrassing that it needs to be addressed. And really, only Bobby Lee can do something like that. Like, sure, he's in the Rogansphere, but he's also deeply connected with Mark Maron, who, if you don't know by now, is an absolute anti-bro comedy guy. So him and Bobby are pretty close friends, and honestly, it seems like Mark Maron's exposed Bobby to a lot of the slop that his friends have been producing as of late. Because in their most recent WTF podcast that they did together, you can kind of hear Mark getting through to Bobby about how all these Austin meatheads are actually a
I am. That's true. That's true. It's funny that one didn't show up on my chat, but I can see it in
whose main goal
the I can see it on the VOD. But yeah, it'll come for me. It comes for us all.
is to sell out to the
Cancel
lowest
culture.
denominator of subhuman as possible. And once they figured out how easy it was for them to sell out stadiums like that, they then proceed to turn around and claim to be the greatest comedians to ever grace planet Earth.
This guy, he
And
is the
once Mark
greatest. Look
Maron
at him.
finishes speaking in this next clip here,
Love his
you're gonna
mustache.
hear Bobby Lee tell a story about how a comedian once told the audience to worship him like a god. And even though Bobby doesn't make
This is like satanic. Has anyone like? Do you see what I'm seeing right here? This is like. Are you sure this isn't a cult? Like, look at this. If I showed you this, would you think this is the inside of a comedy club? Or would you think like this guy is trying to summon Satan and has like some children in the back that he's about to murder as like a sacrifice? Like what? Like what is this?
mention any names, there is a 99% chance that this person was probably Tony Hinchcliffe.
It's like, you know, they're not for everybody. And this is the other problem I have with the tribalizing of comedy, where you get a bunch of meatheads that are like, "Fuck you, that's not comedy. He's selling out stadiums. You're not funny."
God, he just looks like a
So there's
douche.
this judging of comics in a
Are they doing that?
in a sports-like
Are they doing
fashion.
that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Is this
If
Mirren?
you rail any criticism of YouTube comics, Matt Rife or anybody,
Yeah.
the legions of meatheads who call themselves comedy fans based on the competitive nature of what's been established by the Austin School.
Yeah.
That what happens is, you know, you get this sports-like attitude. It's like, you can't sell that many tickets. You're not as funny. This deciding tone of what is and isn't funny is such bullshit, because the best comics, the most interesting people, almost no one knows.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's just the way it is. As a comic, I can see it. I know it.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, the fans of the Austin comedy scene, and I hesitate to call them like they're more like seals than anything, but like because they just clap. They don't, it's not. They don't actually appreciate comedy. They're more like just podcast fans. Like they're people who go to a place to hear someone they know speak. And they're basically just doing it like a podcast up there that isn't really like funny, and like they're just using all the trigger words to make the seals clap, like, and it's, I don't know, I'm not a huge comedy guy, so like I don't know what I'm talking about, I guess, but they are like the Austin comedy scene. I've seen like some of their stand-up stuff, and it all seems like really shitty. Like it seems really not funny, and it seems more like it just seems more like reactionaryism, and it's not like just saying things to get a rise out of people. And I don't know. I think people who like comedy much more than I do probably agree.
I think you're right, but I don't know why.
I mean, American Redact
Because
does.
they're challenging.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that are hugely successful,
Ugh,
they
is
don't.
that Matt
they're not
Rife?
that provocative, and when they are provocative, they can't shut up about it, and it's not even real. Like, I don't want to get canceled.
Yeah.
You won't.
Yeah.
You fucking hack.
Yeah.
I did see
I remember
Stabby
seeing. I don't want to say his name.
Wow. Okay.
or
but I saw a
Stabby.
guy, a friend of
He was
mine.
really funny.
And he, after a set, he's in a
He
stadium.
really shit talked my city, St. Louis, and I loved it. It was so funny.
And
Yeah.
he tells everyone to pull out a lighter or a fucking, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
camera
yeah,
ring,
sure.
right? And he's just like, not like he's kind of like on stage, like almost
Oh,
like
for the
Jesus,
picture? Yeah.
like a photo,
Yeah.
right? And everyone's standing, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, almost worshiping him,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Behind him.
it's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
behind him, and I vomited on my phone. I literally had a reaction to it. I'm
Wow.
like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
That's insane.
So, without a doubt, the anonymous
Ugh.
comedian who has his crowds worship him like Jesus is most definitely Tony Hinchcliffe. I mean, there's dozens of photos available of him online.
Why does he make
doing
that-
this very thing?
Do you see that? That is like, I am the king, right? Like that is like if I was the lord of the town and I came out and I was like, yes, peasants, please clap. You're allowed to clap now. Continue clapping until I say you are done clapping.
And to Bobby's point, it's extremely corny. Like, Tony actually thinks he's the greatest comedian of all time, but Bobby sees right through that. Because if you didn't know, Bobby Lee
Ooh, the
was
mohawk.
actually already an
Brave.
established regular at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles when Tony Hinchcliffe was like 13 years old back in the late 90s. So
Little
when
baby.
Tony started working as a door
Look
guy
at
at the
that
Comedy
bro.
Store in
You look
2007,
better back then.
Bobby was already 10 years into this huge comedy and acting career. So for the entire 2010s, Bobby saw Tony try really hard to become this A-list acting comedian, but he was never able to get that big break. Which, according to Lee, is the only reason Tony moved to Austin. Like in this next clip here from 2020, you're gonna see Bobby telling Santino that Hinchcliffe actually ended up moving to Austin because he could never nail down a big TV role. In fact, Bobby says that goes for all the other guys too.
He went with Tony Hinchcliffe. Yeah, but
Yeah, those guys moved down there for the Rogan train.
what do you think of that?
There's so many people.
I know.
I don't
You
even
wanna go.
Tim Dillon's moving down there
I know you want to go.
to Austin.
Yeah.
Look, I don't.
We just got our houses, man.
Yeah, we just got our houses.
Oh, there you go. Got an excuse. There he was looking for. He was thinking about it, and Bobby's like, "But we bought our houses recently. Is that a good enough excuse?" And they're like, "Yep, that one works."
I mean, at the end of the day,
We
it's
just
like,
got our houses.
yeah, it's like I'm paying mortgage on my house. I'm not.
It's here's my other thing. If this is
Oh man, and then and later today I got to go get groceries. Like I can't move to Austin. Sorry, I'm just too busy.
sounds crazy, and I'm going to say this, and I mean this.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, you don't need to stay in LA. You don't need to be in LA. Okay, fine, I get it. I don't need to be in LA to do what we do. Kind of.
You do.
You do.
Because those guys.
They say that, but they
no,
don't.
but also those guys, right? Guys like Tony and those guys, they don't have like dream. You and I. They don't have dreams. No,
they don't have dreams.
But they don't.
No, they don't work in Hollywood.
But they don't want to like get on a movie or TV or act.
I mean,
They're not-
guys, I'm not very funny, so like maybe I should go to Austin. I feel like if Austin is where all the bad comedians go, maybe that's where I need to be. Like I think that I can learn how to. I think I can. I think I can. I shouldn't say that. Never mind. I was gonna. Okay, fine, whatever. If someone wants to clip it, they can. I think I could learn to say the N word. But okay, that was a joke. I would never. I have never.
That's why. Not that I'm an actor, but I like doing it, and
You
it's
are
a
an
part
actor.
of my. It's a part of what I do, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like I like the challenge of it,
Right. Those guys aren't in the. That's what I'm saying. They're not in the acting side of Hollywood.
and they want to be. Some of them.
I think a lot of them don't.
Yeah, but some of them do.
I
don't
think
know
my
if
wife
Tony-
would
Tony,
have
I don't think
something
he
to
goes
say
out
if
for
I
stuff
went to
like that, or-
Texas.
But he's said stuff to me like.
I think she would have to agree.
Anything.
So, according to Bobby, Tony's actually talked to him about giving up on Hollywood because he couldn't nail down any roles. Which is pretty funny because that's exactly what Louis
Yeah.
J. Gomez said about him. So, this is just gotta
Austin
be true.
is where comedy goes to die. That's where it is.
I mean, the guy just couldn't swim with the big fish in LA, so he packed his bags up and moved to the smaller pond, where he is indeed now killing it. I mean, there's just no denying that Kill Tony's a huge hit down there. But it's the fact that he's so high and mighty about that towards
This in all
comic
honesty though, this Kill Tony show, like, yeah, Tony Hinchcliffe sucks, but the concept of the show is great. Just bringing out fresh, like, new comedians, like, while you just sit back and don't do anything is like, I mean, okay, sorry, the show would be better if they had people who actually, like, were funny and were able to contribute to the banter with the new fresh comedians. But the idea of bringing out some fresh new comedians who, like, give their, like, 5 minute, like, set or whatever, and then you banter with them and, like, talk about what they did good, what they did bad. That's a great idea for a show. It really just sucks that it was this loser who came up with it. Like, if only anybody else besides this loser came up with it, it would have been, I feel like I would enjoy it.
he interacts with these days that really rubs Bobby the wrong way, which he's actually talked about on Bad Friends with Mark Maron last August.
So I get.
I'm tired of the attitude.
I thought you were going
They
to say
come-
violence in this country.
No,
and
no,
I was
no,
about to
no,
lose
no,
my
no.
shit.
I'm tired. They come up back to LA.
What violence? It's all gone.
One guy, I want to name his
Trump
name.
solved it.
Oh, you seem like you're thriving. He goes, I'm killing it.
Killing it.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, whoa, dude.
With it,
You moved out because you couldn't survive here.
Yeah.
This is a different.
It's an animal.
And so
Sick 'em.
Bobby never named Tony there, but the way he said,
I'm killing it.
just makes you think that that was Tony. Like, no other comic talks like that. But with that being said, guys, we've all got to
Okay, sure.
remember that Bobby and Andrew Santino
What are
are
they
still
wearing?
friends with these guys on the surface.
What is he
because they
wearing?
actually benefit from them
Sorry, what was that?
like that. But with that being said, guys, we've all got to remember that
What is this? Is this like just like culturally insensitive ethnic garb just for the sake of it? Like, why would you wear? Look at this. Like, what in this, like, bead necklace? What is he? What is he wearing? I cannot comprehend. True, ma'am. But I literally I just cannot get it. I don't why. What is this?
Bobby and Andrew Santino are still friends with
I
these
take it back. I cannot go to Austin. I would not be able to not punch that guy in the face. Like, if I was in the same room of him as him, like, he would get punched. I'm sorry. I can't not do it. If you are wearing that shit, you're going to get punched in the face by me in particular.
guys on the surface because they actually benefit from them having these major platforms. Like, Bobby Lee just shot his first ever comedy special with Hulu earlier this January, so you best believe that right before that comes out this year, you're going to see
What is
Bobby
that, like
make
a
the podcast
Mongolian
rounds
hat or
promoting
something? Like, I
that.
cannot-
So that's pretty much the
Okay,
entire
whatever, sorry.
reason that they never name names on these podcasts. Like, they actually still need to be in good graces with these guys.
Just name
But
names,
with all
who
these
cares?
clips of them assumably sneak dissing the Austin comedy scene, I couldn't imagine how much Bobby's actually trashing them off camera, you know? I mean, he just jumps at the opportunity to trash comics on Tiger Belly, with even the most random guests. Like, there's this one clip from a year ago where Bobby mentions going to an unnamed comedy club, reading the list of comedians set to perform there that night, and thinking to himself that they were complete hacks.
Now, that's
that
a
only
hat.
are
That's
on
a
that
hat
night
I can get behind. I would never punch somebody wearing this hat. This is a cool hat. That other hat was weird and seemed vaguely insensitive.
because they're in a community, which can kind of be in reference to any comedy club, but it sounds awfully similar to what Joe Rogan's got going on in Austin.
What I was saying the other day, right, is I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. But
This is where you draw the line.
Maybe he's gonna be brave like me. Say what I said earlier.
I was at a club the other day. I was looking at the lineup, and I go, this lineup's terrible. And
Who was on it?
What? I'm not gonna say it. But and I
Give me their initials.
and our point.
Just
The
the
point
initials.
was like if we just booked it based on who gets the most laughs, it would be a completely different lineup. But we don't do that. It's more loyalty and who's been around that gets on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where was this?
I'm not gonna tell you. But my point being is that
I'm sure
even
that
like,
exists. I'm sure that exists everywhere to some extent. All comedy clubs, I'm sure, have like loyalties and like cliques and like who's on the in and who's on the out. Like comedy people, okay, comedy people are just kind of theater kids who like went a different route. Like they are also a little bit of drama queens, as evidenced by all of this drama slop that happens between them all the fucking time, and how many goddamn podcasts they like talk about all this shit. And so like, but I do think that Austin is particularly bad about it. Like they are the messiest little bitches. Like they are out there like grabbing wigs and like, you know, I don't know, like scratching faces. Like they are so messy, and like I don't know. It is kind of funny though. So maybe I can make some content out of it at least.
If you even other nationalities and color, you know, there's so many other people I would choose before the ones they put up. You know what I mean? But it's out of loyalty and that kind of thing before anything else, and I hate that.
I did a show there once, and it was pretty tough. When you're the only gay guy on a show, and the audience is just primed for some straight white man comedy. And there are some funny straight white men. I'm not here to say that all straight white men are funny. There are some funny straight white men out there.
Like me. He's talking about me.
But I mean, there was like some
He's
like
Ratatouille.
there was some like, what's up with women and their pussy?
Yeah.
So they could obviously be referencing any other spot, like the Comedy Cellar in New York, for example, which features a lot of these straight white male comics that the guest was referring to here. But regardless, that's pretty much the epitome of Joe's Comedy Club too. Like sure, they feature a lot of women and people of color there, but the overall vibe there is majorly that sort of locker room humor, which is indeed hack. Again, though, Bobby Lee knows that they're his friends, and he knows that he's actually in their group. He even states in this podcast that he feels that this type of bro comedy has sort of taken over, and he knows that he's in that circle, but also relates to Mark Maron's belief that comics should be loners that don't really join up in these
I mean, and it's also tied to the cultural, you know, it's tied to the political times that we're living through too. Reactionaryism is just like it's ascended right now. I think it's on somewhat on the outs. Like I think it's about to descend a little bit. Like we're going to be a little less reactionary here in the future. And I do think that like Joe Rogan's you know, group of Chud comics is going to have to, you know, adapt with the times as it happens, or like fall off. We're kind of already, I think, to some extent seeing him fall off just a little bit with his support for like Donald Trump and all that sort of stuff, like is kind of to some extent backfiring, and also like the Epstein stuff. But yeah, I in terms of the actual comedians and comedy scene, I assume that it will change a little bit with the times, as well as the reactionary like typhoon that we're living through starts to pass by.
Eternal rat packs or comedy death squads.
Oof.
It's interesting. Comedy is now, there is now a real alpha male, like, you know,
there's like a bro.
It's like bro. That's a bro. Like I'm still kind of a part. I think I'm a part of that. No or no? Like in my ecosystem, there's a lot of bro.
You are.
I know, but still,
there's like a class of.
But the people that my
bro.
group of guys, you know what I mean, like Theo and these type of guys are like more in the bro.
Oh, Theo Vaughn is like
bro
the broiest of bros.
Yeah. And
are you and Joe Rogan in the same class?
Yeah, we're in the same. I'm in the same ecosystem of his. He's the president of the bros. Yeah. But there's a little bit of Mark Maron in me too, though. You know what I mean? You know, I'm sort of kind of in his thing too. So, but
you're like the altiest of the bros.
Kinky.
I feel.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Bobby Lee knows that his bank accounts have seen a huge rise since starting his podcasts and getting that Rogan boost. But he can still recognize a hack when he sees one. Like when Ari Maddie said that thing about
Do you think that Rogan will ever have me on if I make it big? Am I too left coded for him? I don't think he ever really has left wingers on.
The N-word earlier in this video. Bobby Lee also gets visibly happier.
I think I can pretend though. I think I can really chud it up with like the chuds. I do it like in my real life, like not all of my friends are like socialist lefties. Like I mean a lot of them are, but not all of them. And so like I can chud it up with the best of them.
Whenever his guest trashes that whole scene, Joe Rogan, or any of those other guys. Because Bobby's never really able to name names when he calls them out. So when a guest just crashes out and starts calling them out by name, Bobby really enjoys it. Like for instance, when Jay Moore went on Tiger Belly and said that Joe Rogan's just not funny at all, and that it's really strange that Joe's seen as this arbiter of comedy.
millions of dollars when Rogan and Bert had that thing on and Rogan
Yeah,
being
you're probably
the
right.
comedy end all be all.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
That he's the arbiter of funny.
But can I just?
He didn't even say it.
Considering all the times Joe Rogan has made us all laugh.
I understand.
And so I think Bobby probably thinks Rogan's not too great at stand-up, but by all means, Bobby and Joe Rogan are way better pals than him and
Sorry, I was captivated. His eyes, man. Oh, I could look into those eyes for like ever.
Too great at stand-up.
Oh my gosh, look at him. I think I'm being like hypnotized right now.
By all means, Bobby and Joe Rogan are way better pals than him and Hinchcliffe. Especially since Joe Rogan stood up for Bobby Lee after he was threatened by Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen over FaceTime. Like, Joe really didn't like that, and some people even think that he pushed Brendan further away because of it.
I might have to fly to LA and hold his hand and drag him on a flight.
I think he just needs a real invitation.
He knows I love him. I cry because there's been a lot of drama lately, and one of the things that happened was somehow or another my name got entered into this thing, and I don't want to get into it in too much detail. But
so high school, dude. This is so Mean Girls. Like, this is like I've seen these. I went to high school with people like this. They get in these like drama fights with like every single person around them, all of their friends. They keep getting in these drama fights with them, and then they back off a little bit, and all of a sudden they're best friends with them again. Oh, yay, we're best friends again. We're best friends. And then the next day they like, I don't know, like look at you the wrong way, and then you're like, I hate them, they suck. And I'm like, I went to high school with these people. They're just like little 12-year-old, or sorry, it's high school, like 14, 15-year-olds. Like, it's so funny.
I'm like, okay, I must call Bobby, and I called him and I said, listen, I don't know what
sorry about
I'm
that,
just
man.
hearing about this nonsense now, but I love you. I would never let anybody
I'll tell her myself.
I would never let anybody come on my show and talk bad about you. I think you're an awesome guy. I think you're incredibly talented. And I know that you have fear of like performing and putting on a special.
Performance
and stuff like that,
anxiety.
but I really think you should, because I think you're one of the best comedians alive. And I think
it hits a lot of people.
Many, many times. I always give him shit like, when are you going to do a special? What are you doing?
So Bobby Lee and Joe Rogan are probably good pals in real life. Not sure if Bobby really agrees with the Trump backing, though, but he'll still go on to Joe's podcast once he works up the nerve.
I wonder what that smelled
like, believe
like.
it or not,
Sorry.
the only issue he has with Joe is that he's scared.
I've heard
Bobby,
that Trump poops his pants. I don't know if that's true or not, but I choose to believe it.
which he said multiple times on Bad Friends, and it's apparently the only reason why he doesn't go on Joe's podcast very often.
Who?
Buff Eyes.
Who's Buff Eyes?
Rogan.
Buff Eyes. What?
You think he's my dad?
Yeah.
Is he my dad?
You get like a
Daddy.
little like, you know what I mean? You look at him like your dad kind of.
Why don't you like Rogan?
He's got to defend his dad.
Interesting.
Why?
It's so funny what you're doing right now, because obviously I love him.
Well, you called him my dad, my daddy. Like, oh, I am president. Like, you don't like
That's
him.
what
You
I
love
said.
him.
I love Rogan, but I'm intimidated by him.
Every time he comes to the store, do you get nervous?
Well, it was 3 weeks ago. His wife was there. I love her.
Yeah, she's cool.
And she noticed the shoes I was wearing, which I really liked. And then Rogan pulled me aside, and he goes, "How come you get so scared around me?"
It's a legitimate question.
And I go, "I'm not scared." I go, "Because what you white people don't fucking understand."
So it's pretty funny that Bobby Lee is intimidated around Rogan, because Bobby Lee is just leagues above Joe when it comes to comedy, and he really runs laps around the guy when it comes to audience approval ratings. I mean, a lot of people think that he's really the only reason that Bad Friends is so successful. Because when you compare the views that Santino gets on his solo podcast compared to Bobby's solo podcast, Bob just blows Santino out of the water. So Santino's not really the draw here. But Bobby, after all, is a pretty timid guy that doesn't
I don't
really
even know who
understand
that
how much
Santino
pull
guy
he
is.
has. But anyways, Bobby Lee eventually worked up the courage to go on JRE, and they actually had a great episode together. There was one part of the show, though, that got pretty interesting, because Joe Rogan
I never watched it, by the way. I never watched Joe Rogan, so I only get my Joe Rogan content from these, like, content farms.
confronting Bobby Lee about trash-talking Austin and saying that he would never move there, which was all in good fun, but at the same time, it was pretty
Which is maybe why I have such a negative perception.
petty. I mean, of course Joe Rogan would have scored the jackpot if Bobby Lee lived there instead of Los Angeles, but his feelings got hurt when Bobby turned that down.
He lives here now, right?
Yeah, Duncan lives here.
Everyone's asking me to come.
You should come. I know you're talking shit about moving to Austin.
I want to come.
Listen,
No,
that's a Trump
yeah,
quote.
You did. I watched the video.
Do not come.
Don't lie.
That's a Kamala quote.
You did. You did.
What
Like,
I
I'm
said?
not fucking moving to Austin. I don't leave my neighborhood. I don't
need
go
a
to Compton.
soundboard.
I stay right here.
Could I say something?
Okay, sorry, I'm done with this.